Hello, welcome to my channel. You know when you watch a tutorial video and the introduction is just so long that you have to scroll through the comments to find the actual video starting point? So if you have read the title, well, you know what you're here for, so let's jump straight to my desk.
So this video has two parts to it. For one, I'm mostly going to be showing you the different apps that I use to limit distractions and to be productive on my laptop. But for the first part, I'm going to show you a tip that sets the tone for a productive workplace, and that is your desk. So as you can see here, this desk is pretty clustered and disorganized. Actually, maybe your desk is in worse conditions, but it's very important to have a very clean and organized, spacious desk on which you'll do work. Because when you're working under messy conditions, well, it just sends the wrong message to your brain, and it makes it harder to be productive. So there you go. Before all else, clean up your desk so that you have a clear mind and a clear space before diving into work.
This is my desktop. As you can already see, it's very minimalist. I basically moved all of the apps that used to be on my desktop all to the Start menu so that I can have a very clear and simple desktop. As soon as I open my laptop, it kind of sends a message to my brain that things should be organized. So this will help eventually as you start working on your laptop to stay on track and not to get distracted. And I think the idea is similar to decluttering your workspace. So yes, you can work with a very cluttered workspace or a very cluttered desktop with a million icons. But for me, it's just something very useful to make things simple. So that's number one, have a very simple desktop. Number two, it's the sticky note, and it's the built-in Windows app, so it's free and it's very easy and simple to use. I have this note that's always open, and it's called Goals for Using Laptop. And what I do is I write a list of things that I wanted to accomplish by opening my laptop today. So obviously that applies for when you're trying to do productive work. So for me, I wanted today to finish formatting my CV and to finish the video script. So I jot them down, and it can be a reminder for me to stay on track, because there were so many times where I had some things to do in mind, and then I go on my laptop, I get so distracted that I forgot what I was going to do in the first place. So having this right here on the screen will remind you and motivate you to not get distracted. And the next thing that I want to show you is the Pomodoro Technique. So I use this app that's called Tomighty, and it's a free app, a simple timer that follows the Pomodoro Technique. So what I like about it is that the timer can always be somewhere where you can see, and then you just work away. So the idea with Pomodoro is that you work for a amount of time, say 25 minutes, then you take a break for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you repeat to maximize your productivity during the 25 minutes that you're working. Having this timer here is basically a reminder to myself that I really should be working to my maximum during those 25 minutes, because I will be getting a break to do whatever I want once the time is up. So next, I'll just go through the list of them, and I'm going to explain briefly what each one does. So I'm going to put all of the names of the products and the links in the description. Those are all Chrome extension tools, and I'm sure there are things that exist with other browsers as well, but Chrome is what I use. So the number one built-in extension that I'm going to show you is called StayFocusd. So this tool has helped me tremendously when I don't have the willpower. So what this app does is that it allows you to control how much time you want to spend on those highly distracting websites. So for me, I put a daily maximum of 10 minutes. And under those websites, I have things like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, basically apps that are absolutely not essential when I'm working on an essay or doing my CV, but are a huge distraction when I'm working. So as you can see, today I got distracted and I'm already at 0. And you can put whatever website that you want. And there are a lot of different ways you can change the settings, but I'm not going to go into detail of how this app works. And this has helped me so much to stay on task. Once I reach the time limit, and let's say I want to go to Instagram. So it's not going to open and it's going to tell me, well, shouldn't you be working? Obviously, there are ways around it, but the number one key for those apps to work is that under no circumstance should you ever bypass it on your computer. So let's say you really have to go on those websites that you blocked, or you have to check something that's school related. Well, either check it on your phone, using your parents' laptop, go to the library, but it's really important to never bypass it. When you do it once, your brain learns that it's okay to do it, and then eventually these things don't work because you'll just have a way to bypass it and you won't feel guilty. Whereas if you've never done it before, well, you're believed that once it's blocked and you should just get back to working. And this gives you the benefits that it will always work. It's not gonna eventually be useless. That's StayFocusd. The next app that really helps me, distraction-free YouTube. So YouTube isn't really a website that I could put under the category for StayFocusd because sometimes I need to watch hours of tutorial videos for school and lessons, so it's just not realistic. But what I do for YouTube is distraction-free. Basically have the options to hide different sections of YouTube. So you can hide the trending bar, the subscription bar. So your YouTube becomes very clear and simple. So when you go on it to do productive stuff, you don't get carried away with all the trending materials and newsfeed. So I'm going to show you what my YouTube looks like. And there is nothing. And I also have another tool that I use to group my subscriptions. So I don't have to go through like hundreds of videos just to see my top YouTubers. And next, I just have a bunch of ad blockers so that it blocks out some ads that could distract you. So next, we're gonna go see RescueTime. So RescueTime is a tool that tracks your website usage. So it shows you how long you've been browsing and what kind of websites you're using. So today, it says that I've logged for 36 minutes, and it breaks down of how much of it is productive and how much of it is not. And while it doesn't really actively stop you from doing anything, I think at the end of the day, when you see the summary, it makes you more aware of how you're spending your time. So there you go. Those are the different apps and tips that I have to promote productivity and to limit distractions. It's important to bear in mind that you don't have to use all of those things that I have shown you here all at once, because I have discovered those apps and tips over the years. I didn't implement all of them into my life all at the same time. For example, the desktop setup that I have is only from last week. So I think doing too many changes at the same time could even be counterproductive. So I would suggest that you identify your biggest source of distraction and start using one of those things that I suggested and see how that works out for you, instead of doing everything at the same time, because the changes could be too big and too sudden for it to be effective at all. So those are all the secret applications and tips that I have for my personal use. I hope one of those things that I've shown here has helped you today.